Howdy, it's Matt. Welcome back to the desk, and in this workshop, or workbench ramble should I say, we are going to be fitting this, and let me zoom in so you see what it is. This, which is a, it's actually meant for a Hardcore 44 mount onto the front of the Genesis wing. Now the reason why I'm recording this is because it's a bit scary, to be honest, and I'll leave us zoomed in a touch. It's a bit scary because we need to cut it in, and I know that for some of you that might be a little bit daunting to do, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So, right, Hardcore 44 mount. I'll put a link to this in the video description for you. The wing behind here, which we've got on the desk, I'm sure many of you already know, is the Genesis FPV flying wing, which I bought for 35 quid. If you've not seen the unboxing video, it's in the top right hand corner for you now. And yeah, this little FPV camera pod I absolutely love. I've got it in my Hardcore 44. I've actually got it in the Hardcore 38 as well, which is over there on the side. And you can fit just a normal sized FPV camera in there, something like a Runcam Swift, a normal sized Runcam Swift, a Runcam 2 or Runcam Owl Plus in there, and it basically protects the camera. If you think you've got this much plastic around, and again we zoom right in here, you've got this much plastic in and around your FPV camera, because let's face it, our FPV cameras, they are expensive pieces of kit, and the purpose of this wing is to fly in and around trees. Chances are that, yeah, I've broken FPV cameras before, so a little unit like this is really straightforward. Also, the benefit to this is that you may have noticed up here on the top, the two holes, is that I'm able to put a Velcro strap around the top, and then also mount on top the Runcam 2 camera for 4 HD recording as well while we're flying. Now this is not part of the kit, and if I could get the zoom going the right way, I'm just going to see if we get ourselves zoomed in. Well, no, this isn't part of the kit. It's a free part, an STL file, which you can buy off, sorry, not buy, download for free off Thingiverse. Again, I'll put a link to that in the video description. I've been printed mine out. I've only printed it out with PLA, but it is super tough. I think it was something like 75% triangular infill, and it's rock solid. I don't know on the weight. I'm sure it's got some gravity to it, that's for sure. So let's quickly put the scales on, and on the scales right now, it's 1 ounce it's been and come out as. Again, one day I'll get the zoom right, just not today. It's come out as 1 ounce, or 29 grams. For this plastic piece of section on the front. Again, in an ideal world, is that I would have made it out of ABS plastic. But the thing is the ABS plastic is rather stinky, and I had the white PLA in the printer so already, and I couldn't be bothered to change it, so I printed it out of PLA. And again, I printed another one of these out of the PLA, and it's done really well. I have hit it, and it survived, so it's going to have to take a massive impact to break even PLA, so the benefit of using ABS really isn't in there. Right, so with that said, I'm just going to... This might be a bit of a shocker for you, but to be honest, I was only ever going to line this up by eye. Now, the right way of doing this is that what you would do is get some masking tape. And again, it doesn't matter, again, we haven't finished this one just yet, is that I'm going to get some masking tape. I'm going to use the centre line as a reference, which is just there, and I'll put a piece down the other side. And the reason why we're using a piece of masking tape is because normally Matt would have just gone gung-ho, lined it up by eye, and off we go. But the right way of doing this is to actually measure it. Okay, and by using just some masking tape on there, it's very simple to do. So we're going to quickly measure that, which is it's 1, and I'm not going to do this inches. We'll do it in centimeters instead. It is 48 millimeters. So we need 2.4 centimeters either side. Now, because of this on here, because of the markings on my ruler, we're going to go at 2.4 on that side. Now I'm measuring off the center line, like so. So 2.4, and then I'm going to measure off this side as well. So 2.4, I'm using the center line on there, and going to 10, and then 2.4, and go into 10, and then of course by putting those 2 dots on there, we then do have our lines as well, like so. And then to get a 90-degree bend, or 90-degree angle on there, again, just getting the set square out, I'm using the join of the foam here in the middle to get it at the right angle. And again, it's a little bit tricky to do, so I'm blatantly just going to do my eye, to be honest. Now I am gonna just eye this up, and it looks like I've made those lines too small, and that's actually a good thing. Remember, measure twice and then cut once. And I am just here eyeing it up, and it does look like I'm just pushing it down on there, and it does look like those lines are too small, which is brilliant. Now I'm going to go and zoom in. Like I said, one day I will get the zoom function working. It just won't be today. And I'll tell you what, why don't I move that up so you can see that perhaps a little bit better. There we go. And let's go and mark this up. Yeah, that's definitely too small, the hole, which is a good thing because we can always go back and cut a little bit back afterwards. And that was the point which I was trying to make for you in this video, is that it's okay to cut stuff, but cut it too small, and you can always make it bigger later. Doing it the other way around is not nice. So I'm just going to get in there with a knife. Yeah, that's good, and I'm going to use this line over here as a reference as well. Cool. And you notice that I'm not going for the big cut straight away. I'm going for smaller cuts first and working my way down. And obviously I've got a brand new number 11 blade in the craft knife here, because doing it with anything less would be nuts, in short. So yeah, don't hold back, always put a brand new blade in there, and slowly working my way down the foam. And again, at this point in time, it doesn't matter if I break some of the foam or peel some of the paint off the side. And I've just been, I think I've just hit one of the carbon rods which I put in. Now I'm just eyeing this up. Again, that looks kind of straight, so what I'm going to do is just bring that forward. I don't know if you saw that, I just brought that forwards a touch then, about 1/8 of an inch. There we go. And I'm going to do the same on this top section. Again, I'm using a saw-in motion here just to get in, and it will be tough in the centre of the wing where that layer of glue is in the middle. And again, trying to keep the knife vertical as well. And again, another good reason why to cut it too short is because if you have cut in on an odd angle, you might be able to rescue it afterwards. And again, just doing my best to keep that vertical, and we're getting that corner, and see if I managed to get this out in one go. And I don't want to shake my coffee, I'm just going to pause for a quick slurp. So anyway, as I'm doing this, I'm really looking forward to flying this Genesis wing. It has, again, like I said, many of you already know, it has flown really well for Dave. I know Andrew likes his, and even Foam Dave was having one. I'm sure it won't be long till Craig ends up with one as well. So there we go. I'm going to cut the nose out. Not the prettiest of job, or cleanest of job on the way out, but it's clean enough. Now, I am a little bit worried about that bit of carbon fibre on the side. Now, that's not going to come off easy. That's a bit of a... That is a right pain in the rear, to be brutally honest. Now, if I wasn't doing this on film, I would drop the Dremel on the floor. You could, of course, just get the Dremel, get in there. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this outside a moment, and I'm just going to use the Dremel, because I could put a hacksaw in there. That was my first plan, but that's not going to work. Now, carbon fibre is really not nice, so with that in mind, we're going to take it outdoors for some fresh air, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Right. There we go. Now that I've had my daily dose of carbon fibre dust, and you don't want to be breathing carbon fibre dust. It is evil stuff. Evil. Right, so been and clean that up. Let's go and present. Oh, that's a, yeah, good fit. Now, obviously, I don't know if you can see that now. Let me zoom out a touch. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. We've not dug back far enough. We've got still 1/4 of an inch to go backwards, which is absolutely fine. We've cut the hole too small. It's a nice, good, tight fit. That again is happy days. So we're going to go back the same amount on both sides. So that blade is feeling blunt. And as you may have worked out, these videos are what they are. I leave all edits in, and we keep this as real as possible, in short. And that blade was feeling really dull after cutting that foam, which is, yeah. So my point being is that if your blade feels dull, don't hold back and go and get yourself another blade. So just going to sink that back. Now to make sure I get a nice straight edge up here. Just again, just doing it by eye, which I'm sure you can see or cannot see, as the case may be. Again, there's a fine line between me doing this on video so you can see it, and also me not fucking it up here on my desk, which I'm sure all of you appreciate. So that looks good to me. So I've got the line cut. Again, trying to keep the blade vertically in here, like so. Yeah, right, present it up again. Oh, so close. Oh, we are. Oh, that is frustratingly close. In fact, are we close enough? I think we're close enough. Now, you may be saying, Matt, what are you talking about? How close are you? Let me turn it around that way. That's how close I am. I am super close. It is just protruding the end of the nose. Let me turn it around this way so you can see it, hopefully. On the camera, I am trying to not knock the camera. It is super, super close on there. To be frankly honest, that is close enough for me. We are literally just maybe a hair away. In fact, it's going to bug me. I am going to trim a little bit off. Hey, look, if it's your wing, you can do what you want. This is my wing. I am just going to take the thinnest piece I can off this edge, just to get it to go back that little bit further. And again, will it make any difference to the flying performance? Of course it bloody well won't. Will it keep Matt satisfied? Yes. In short, so I'm just going to trim that out. And again, don't throw the trimmings away, because you may need to stick them back in if you make a complete screw up. Right. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, now we need to glue that in there. And again, this camera mount was not designed. Let me zoom out. What was it? Like I said, not a good zoom day today. Right, this camera mount was not designed for this wing. However, it's a pretty damn good match. There is a tiny little ridge here on the nose, and to be honest, I'm more interested in the bottom being flat rather than the top. And the reason for that is the bottom, which is likely to catch anything when we go into land. So if I turn it up the other way, you will see my little apprentice mark just there. So that's why I was saying save your phone, because if you need to stuff a bit back in there to give yourself like a neat job, you can do. And now that that has gone rather well, I'm going to pull it back out again. And my glue of choice for this is going to be E6000 glue. And the reason why, let's go and get this sanded up a second. The reason why I'm going to be using E6000 glue is because it's a rubberized glue. And because it's a rubberized glue in a high impact area, it's basically going to perform really well. So when I do stuff it in the ground, or I do hit a tree, or you name it, hit something with it, is that it's got a little bit of give in there. So combine the camera mount protecting the FPV camera and the rubberized glue on the side into the foam, is that we have a stronger, well, basically my FPV camera is going to last for longer, which can only be a good thing, because some of those cameras are not cheap, are they? So anyway, let's get some E6000 glue. Again, using a well ventilated area. I'm just going to paste some glue on the side. Again, I'm not going to put masses on here, and the reason why I'm not going to put masses is because I'm also going to put some glue in right now on the inner edges as well. Now, let's get that in there as well. Let's get the side going. 2. Again, yeah, you can, I just looked up on the screen, you can see it on the camera as well. Again, we're just giving it a dose on the side, so make sure there is some glue there, so that when we do push it in a few moments time, is that it's got something to, there's definitely there something for it to grip hold of. And maybe we should have done, again, learn from my mistake here, is that maybe we should have done this the other way around, and maybe we should have done the inner foam piece first, because I'm now gonna, I can't put that bit down, and I'm here picking up the glue, and I'm just gonna clean up in there with some glue, make sure there's a good pasting all over the shop in here, and I'm just squeezing the glue over here to get to dispense some out. And again, I've just filled up the middle, which I don't need to do because that's where the cables are going to come out, but I've only just noticed that after doing it. And just using a 50-30 propeller blade in here just to save me from getting glue everywhere. When I glued up the wing 2 halves, I got absolutely plastered in glue. It's not something which I wanted to repeat today. So yeah, we're just giving that a quick dose around. Put the lid back on the top of the glue. There we go. And then I'm going to put this straight in like this. So again, the reason why I'm coming straight in is because if we bring it from down from the top, we'll end up with loads and loads of spare glue being pushed out on the top, which, saying that, we're getting lots and lots of spare glue being pushed out on the glue on the top right now. But there we go. So I'm just using my finger just to clean up these edges, which you can't see on the camera, apologies. Again, definitely not a zoom day today. And yeah, that piece needs to go down, and I'm interested in it becoming flat at the bottom. So I'm just using my finger just to clean this up. And there's a bit of washout here on the top. And again, I'm not worried about glue marks because we will be laminating it, and that has gone really, really well. Now there is one patch there on the nose which is probably too small for you to be able to see on the camera without zooming in, which is that I just want to go and fill up with some of the glue to make sure it is covered up. Again, more of a cosmetic thing than, and you know, the reason it's not going to, once that glue's set, it's not going to dry out, it's not going to fall out, is it? And oh, that's pretty damn good to me. So let me turn this around so you can see it. Oh, got the zoom right for the first time today. There we go. Happy days. Right, so there we go. That's in there now. That's in there flush on the bottom. I'm more interested in the bottom being flush, and the reason for that is because I don't want any of those parts to catch the ground. And then when I turn it up the other way round, is that it is sunk down a little bit at the top. That's, well, I'd say at the very top ridge. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it's a flush fit either side, but that top piece there, just there where my finger is just a little bit raised, which I'm not that bothered about because I've also got the battery bay to cut out. So I now need to zoom back out. Oh, definitely not a zoom day today. Now what I'm going to go and do is just stand that upright on the radiator and give it an hour or so just to dry, in short, because it will take a while for that glue to set. And that's it. So with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode. It's one of these workbench rambles, as I've labelled them, but in short it just means that we can have this chit chat on the desk and you can see parts and processes, which what I'm doing when it comes to RC models. If you've enjoyed this episode, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up. Any comments or questions about anything which you've been and seen in this episode, remember you can always just ask in the comments section underneath this video. And on that note, there's nothing really more for me to say than to say thank you to you for taking the time to watch this video, and I shall see you again shortly. Next update will be, well, we've got the battery bay to cut out, and we will do that laminating video as well. I'll show you how to laminate a wing. Dead straightforward, so we only need 3 things and a little bit of preparation, and it's dead easy. Honestly, it's so straightforward to do. You'll find that in a later episode. So, with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!